Well, hey guys, it's the Micro Garden, and I know it's been a while, but I'm back, and it's great to see you guys again. I'm really excited because I've actually got some pretty new stuff to actually feature, and it's not just an update on the growth, it's actually something new that's going to be put into the garden, and I think it's going to be pretty fun, and I also think it's going to be way more successful than tropicals because I've had a lot of success with some of my tropicals, but then other tropicals, such as citruses, just, oh man, it's been rough. And they'll grow and they'll drop their leaves, and then they'll grow and they'll drop their leaves, and they'll flower, but then the fruit won't grow. And I just want something that I can just take care of that looks really beautiful. It's a lot of fun, and you guys can also try it as well. And it's also going to open up the doors for a lot of fun things that I can do in the future that I don't really want to release yet, but I want to excite you guys and get you guys excited for what's to come on the micro garden, because I think that this is going to be a really cool, fun thing that I'm going to be doing here. And I also want to kind of see how you guys like it. So what I'm actually going to be doing is starting a very large succulent collection in the micro garden. I'm still going to keep all of the tropicals. I'm going to still continue to add tropicals if I find seeds for cool exotic varieties that I want to try. I'm still going to try them. However, I'm not going to worry about making it all edibles, all tropicals. It's going to be very exotic stuff. It's going to be fun stuff to grow, easy stuff to grow, so that you guys can try it too. And what better, I think, in my opinion, I was kind of thinking in my mind, what plants can people grow that don't require these really expensive lights? Because I mean, these lights are not cheap to run, they're not cheap to buy, they're not cheap to set up, they're not cheap, period. And most people also don't have the space to set them up. So I was saying to myself, I'm like, what can people try that I do at their homes and have fun with? You can't try your citruses, you can't try a lot of your really humid plants like your cocoa, you can't try your coffee, you can't do those things. By the way, my coffee is doing great. It just put on 2 new sets of leaves since I've done my update. Actually, I'll show you guys really quick. Here's just one of them. They're doing really good. I'm surprised. They're doing awesome. And they're putting on another set of leaves, so they're growing really fast. They're liking it up here. And yeah, but some of my other citruses, like my orange tree right there, it's had spider mites on it again, and nothing you can really do about it. You just gotta roll with the punches. But I digressed. But I was thinking, what can people grow that doesn't require these massive lights or a lot of humidity or anything? And I was thinking, and all of a sudden in my head, bingo, succulents. So I'm going to be starting a massive succulent collection. You guys can join me. Also, succulents are very easy to grow because they can grow from cuttings. You can take them from seed. I mean, there are so many different ways you can start a succulent and grow a succulent, and they also don't require a whole lot of maintenance. Pests typically don't bother them. I don't know why, but they typically don't bother them. And they also don't have a whole lot of diseases either. So they're a very easy plant to take care of, and probably one of the most popular. There's thousands of varieties of succulents, so it's going to be an ever-growing collection, and it's going to be very fun to see what other varieties I can get. So below me here, I have something pretty cool I'm going to show you guys, and it's extremely easy to set up, and I'll kind of show you guys how I set it up. I unfortunately don't have another one here, but I'll show you guys how I set it up, and then you guys can also try it as well, and possibly maybe we can get a cool thing going with some succulents. So what I have right here is I actually have one of those burpee. It's like an indoor greenhouse. It's a little windowsill greenhouse type thing. You got the humidity dome here, but aside from that, you have all these cuttings. Every single one of these cuttings. Some might not take root. Others might rot. Like this one, I don't think is gonna live. Oh, nope, that one's not gonna live. This one's ooh, gross. Succulents don't require a whole lot of humidity, But to reduce the stress and keep the moisture, to keep the environment moist, I had it just dry enough so that, or just moist enough so that the soil was moist. So it wasn't, you couldn't wring water out of it, and it wasn't dry, it was just damp to the touch. And that's the way succulents love it. You stick one end in the ground here. This one hasn't rooted yet, but see, as you can see, I will do a how-to video on how to root succulents sometime in the future. But you just take the end here, and you just find where it connected to the stem of the plant, and you just set it in a little bit of soil, and it's going to root just fine. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm gonna pot up some of these ones that are already rooting. Like this one, I think might be rooting. This one's definitely rooted. This one looks like it might be rooted. I don't know. Some of these that are starting to turn upwards I think are rooting, and I'm going to get some in the soil. I do have some over behind me that I already have potted up as well. So let's go do that. Alright, so I found that this one has some roots here. Got some nice dirty hands. But basically I just have some pretty loose soil. It's just to the point where I can wring some water out of it. It's damp, but it's not soaking wet, because succulents do not like a whole lot of water. They like to be dry because their leaves contain a whole lot of water already in them. So I'm just wringing this water out here. I'm just going to prepare the soil. Super simple. And this is known as a coral succulent. There's some more roots on this one. This is a really cool one. This is a super focus. There we go. It's focusing on the background. It's a super tight needled succulent. It's a very difficult one to find. A lot of these come from Australia and Africa. We imported them right from those countries for the greenhouse, and so they're not going to be your everyday succulents. They're pretty cool, pretty hard to find succulents, and very easy to transplant. Most of them just grow right from a cutting, so even if you have some rooting hormone, that's going to help out. But pretty much all you have to do is just set them in some slightly damp soil, and they're going to root. There's this one right here. This one's already beginning to grow quite a bit. This is a very unique one as well. They're all really strange and fun, which is kind of what I like about succulents, is they all have a different little aspect that makes them cool. There's not one succulent that's all the same. They all have different shapes, different ways of growing, all those types of things. I just think they're super fun and unique. So I'm gonna plant this one up here. And typically with succulents, you just want to set them pretty much just on the surface of the soil once they're rooted. Just put the roots underneath the soil, and then just set the plant right on the top of the surface there, just like that, and that's going to do great. We got another one here. This is, I believe it's called Red Jade, and this one's growing quite a bit. This one has a decent amount of roots already growing on it too. Focus. Come on, focus. Alright, well, it's a red jade. It has a kind of a red tint to the leaves. It's a unique one. Just gonna fill this up here. And get that one all planted up. Probably got one more that's ready to go. But there's some crazy ones that I'm hoping will root. This one hasn't rooted yet, but I'm hoping it will start to fairly soon. This one is very unique. It's got these large spiky green lobes and a purple stem. It's pretty cool. I've never seen one like that before. But you know, we got string of beads. Those are pretty common ones, but then this one's got some roots on it, and this is in the jade family as well. We're gonna plant this one up, and I think that'll be all of them for now. There may be some more later, but that'll be all of them for now, at least. There. Alright, now let's go check out what's been growing. So the first thing that's been growing pretty noticeably is the lilikoi, or the yellow passion fruit. And it starts down there, it keeps going, keeps going, keeps going, and yeah, it's still going, still going, still going, and right there. So I'm actually going to build a trellis it back to the wall, and trellis it horizontally. And yes, you do see my very, very, very sad orange plant. It's got spider mites about 4 times, so it's not happy. My banana plant is doing fantastic. It's got some huge leaves starting on it. My star fruit, my carambola, took off. I mean, over the past week or so, it's grown quite a bit. Then, let's see here. My olives that sprouted from seed are doing awesome. They've put on leaves in the past week or so. Then down here you see some of my succulents that I've already started here. This is a string of beads, and these are actually the leaves, these little balls. And then this is just another type of succulent that I started there, and they're pretty cool, pretty unique ones there. Then another exciting thing that's happened is the miracle berry actually has another leaf on it. So we are growing slowly but surely. And what next over here? Oh, the baobab. The baobab has put on lots of leaves since it came out of dormancy here. And what else? Yeah, pineapple's getting huge still. Hasn't put out a flower stalk. I'm hoping sometime soon. It's got to be within the next month or so it's going to put out a flower stalk. I mean, that thing is getting big. But I mean, that's pretty much all the huge growth that's happened. Everything else is doing great. It's just not growing extremely fast right now. Alright, so I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I think you guys are going to have a lot of fun if you guys do try the succulents. I would definitely recommend it. I think they're one of the easiest things to grow. And also, I do have something really fun planned with the succulents. If I can get some more to root, I think that we are going to have a very fun little project to do on the micro garden here. So stay tuned for that. I'll let you guys know if we're going to do it or not. Again, it depends on if the multiple ones that I have of the same variety root or not. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode, and I'll talk to you guys later. See ya. Bye.